Oh, it's live, House.
The following contest scheduled for one fall.
The cream of the crop. Nobody does it better.
You never came looking for me to prove that you're the baddest. So, I've come looking for you to prove you're not.
All over the country, people have been asking me, why, Eddie, why?
Week after week, trying to make me look like a jackass.
Lately, he just hasn't been very oozy. I'm home.
This ain't no disco. Ain't no country club either. This is the 3 Count Thursday podcast. So let's go, baby.
Chin up, tits out, and watch for the shoe.
Hello, everyone. 3CT. We are live. It is a Wednesday, January the 8th, 2025. Yes, we're still here on a Wednesday for another week, but make sure you're following along with us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Blue Sky, TikTok, Twitter, everywhere you can be. We are at 3 Count Thursday. Make sure you go over and grab our merchandise over on the T Public store and support us over there. I'm sure there's a sale going on today. If there's not, check back tomorrow. There's probably a sale going on tomorrow or sometime soon. So go grab your merch and get the Blood Loin merch over there as well. So make sure you hop over there, throw some support. Yes, Tim.
25% off using the promo code New Year at checkout.
There you go.
What a
deal.
Get it done. Devin joining us live. What's going on, Devin? If you are with us live, give us a like and a share. We would certainly appreciate that. Should be the last week that we are preempting AEW, but we will be back to Thursday next week, and we'll be doing that there. Let's go around the room and Ryan.
You all right, girl?
Yeah, no, Jim's not letting us do Thursdays anymore. He said we have to go over AEW. It's a new thing for 2020. I don't know. I don't like it either. Yeah, it's called 3 Count Thursday. I get it. Hey, guys.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
Good. Just having to deal with the secretary. Just asking why we're doing Wednesday again.
Well,
Everybody's confused.
Let her know we'll be back Thursdays next week.
The office is upset. Look, Tim's talking to his secretary. Tim, how are you?
Yeah, I told Arnold before we started. Sorry, Snoop. I was talking to Arnold and I was like, hey, we're bringing back an old favorite segment to the podcast this week that accounts for a week's worth of wrestling. And the last day of the week is today. And we have to give reports of the best of the week in a week that still exists. So, yeah, I don't get it either, Arnold. My bad.
It's complicated. I get it.
No, it's pretty straightforward.
Well, it's a complicated schedule.
You know, as easy as it is for me to watch AEW on a second screen, it's easy for Notre Dame fans to watch a football game on another screen.
Is it, though?
Yes.
I don't think it is.
You did it during the NHL playoffs for your beloved Capitals.
Yeah, but that's different.
What?
The NHL, it's a 7-game series. Like, I don't think I ever was podcasting.
Yeah, there's 4 quarters in football. Yeah, got it.
Well, right, but I don't think I ever podcasted during a game 7.
Well, last week we podcasted after the game would have been over, right?
Well,
it was like right up against it, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Again, because we are a paragon of starting on fucking time.
And in my defense,
it's 8:10 for the record. It's 8:10. We've been live for 5 minutes.
Again, in my defense,
Devin knows.
In my defense, well, yeah, Devin knows.
Honestly, Jim, some things are just defenseless.
When I made the call,
like receivers,
to switch the show, the game was going to be Thursday at 8:45 p.m.
Do you know how many times Mark, if he showed up, would have had to podcast during a Lions game? It always never stopped him.
It's true, but
it's okay.
But you also know that Mark doesn't have Prime Video and wouldn't have been able to watch on Thursday anyhow.
Well, Hillbilly does.
Well, that's,
Does he?
Yeah, I doubt that.
No,
I highly doubt that.
Amazon's
before we go
way
to Matt,
too woke for Hillbilly.
Yeah, before we go to Matt, I have some breaking news.
Oh boy,
Mark's not going to be here.
Our man on the street, intern Mark, on assignment today at trivia. Back
why
to
do
you,
we,
Jim?
Why do we let him?
I don't know why you enable him. You're the host. Rein him in.
This is true.
Dock his pay. You don't want to share hosting duties with anybody. You're the host. So you're in charge.
Tell him he's fired.
Big Jim Sports Associate Press to kill him.
That would just be music to intern Mark's ears if we fire him. That's letting him out too easy.
That's true. You have to be. You know what? I lied. He's going to be
host.
He's going to be here next week, and he's going to have to come up with topics, and he's going to have to host until I take it back over because it's going to be that bad.
Man, get ready for an hour of Sha-Na-Na talk. Where we're all just sitting here listening to Mark talk about Sha-Na-Na.
Well, get ready. April 1st is a Tuesday. April 1st is a Tuesday, and we have a podcast that day.
Do we now?
What a monster he is.
Well, Matt.
You all right, sir?
I'm actually doing better now that Mark's not going to show his face here. I think it still is. He's just so beaten down from the absolute demoralizing loss he took at trivia at Hulk Hoagie's, his home turf, where he never invited us. He still is just reeling from that.
Like, I know we did that to him in 2024, but I feel like we did it in 2025. Like I'm still riding that high.
Mark would frequent a place called Hulk Hoagie's.
Yes.
Let's just throw that out.
That is true, brother.
You know, like a sex addict breaking into a porno shoot, we weren't invited to come.
Yeah,
off to a good start tonight.
Yeah, Mark is going to host next week, or at least come up with topics and start the show as host. We'll see.
I think there's a new parasite in his brain that's taken over because he's like been swearing more in the group chat.
Something ain't right with him. I don't know what's going on. I'm a little.
He had that whole thing about Jim hating birds,
right? Literally out of nowhere.
I mean, we all know Jim notoriously hates birds, but also,
of course.
But he went on like a 30-minute tirade, and he just needs a little bit of egging because he bought like a bird camera. He's like, I bought a bird camera. Jim would hate that. And people were like, well, what do you mean, Mark? And that's all we needed.
Birds have feet. Jim hates feet. Jim hates birds.
Like, what is happening? I don't.
Do you have a bird camera, Jim? No.
I have a camera that points out the front of my house and one that points out the back of my house.
I would love to give our listeners just a peek at what we have to deal with on the 3 Count Thursday group chat, because it is just a goddamn train wreck. And 80% of the time, 70% of the time, it is Mark's doing.
Yeah. Right. It's unreal.
If I'm in the mood, I will egg him on. I absolutely
I know you do.
Will.
Like I can tell the days that like you just feel like having fun with it. And then I can tell the days where you have no fucking interest in it whatsoever.
It's also usually the days where I don't answer anybody in the trivia chat, or touch my
Right.
phone.
Right.
Oh, I have the trivia chat muted.
Oh yeah, that's
I'll
definitely
go through
one.
like maybe once a week and scroll through and see if there's anything worthwhile. Spoiler alert, there isn't.
Rarely is.
It's
I
usually
yelled at
Mark.
Daniel Bryan the other day because of his stupid background on there. That pissed me off.
Yeah, it's usually just
Honestly,
Mark
honestly,
with the same nonsense as the 3 count chat. It's really all it is.
Seeing it twice is a lot. Sometimes he messages me privately. Like we went out for lunch the other day, so I had 3 going with Mark, and that's just my phone's fucking.
Well,
started
you
to
did
melt.
that to yourself, though.
I did. I wanted to go to Haas's.
Well, yeah, but
If I
again,
said, Jim, let's go to Haas's on Saturday. What would you say?
actually, I probably would have gone on Saturday. I had nothing going on.
Oh shit. Well, that's on Mark. That's on
I mean,
Mark.
it
He
could
said,
have
"Don't
also been
invite
on
Jim."
you. You could have just. You could
No,
have.
he
just...
said there's a lot of birds in Anvil, so not to invite you.
Tell me, what is the appeal of Haas's? Is it the ham cubes? Is that it?
It's nothing. It's honestly nothing anymore.
Okay.
I'll say
it
this.
is what it used to be.
Unnecessary
in
apostrophe
Lidditz that I absolutely loved. Just for the salad bar. I'm a salad bar guy, always have been.
Soup and salad. I love soup and salad.
So it's so bad. It is poor quality food right now.
Oh yeah, it's cafeteria food. Like it
Mark
really
and I
is.
both got the meatloaf smash burgers.
Oh god.
Which were like 2 chunks of their meatloaf just smashed onto a grill till they burned it. And then it was like burned bacon jam and like a slice of cheese.
I mean, isn't meatloaf smash burger just kind of an oxymoron? Like, just
well, no. I hear what you're saying. It wasn't a burger patty. Like a smash burger is just a burger patty. This was a meatloaf that they sliced and then just smashed the fuck into a grill. Right. Like I'm pretty sure somebody was just drunk in the kitchen one time and put a burger or ordered a burger, put a fucking piece of meatloaf, and they were like, "Hey, I'm onto something," and that's all Haas's needed.
I mean, like we've all, I'm sure most of us have probably done like the meatloaf sandwich when you have leftover meatloaf.
I rarely have leftover meatloaf to know, Jim.
That's fair.
What about leftover feet loaf?
Feet loaf is something different. It's all about how it's loaved.
I mean, Jim is going to ask for the big toe.
God,
so that's already off the table.
Gross.
He loves that crunchy onion nail.
So, God damn it!
I felt that in the back of my throat when I said it. That's gross.
Good. I hope you lay down and go to sleep tonight, and that you think of it, and you have to get up. And
Tim,
puke.
could you pull up a picture of feet loaf for our viewers if they're not familiar with what feet loaf is? You're usually the quick.
But like Saturday,
to find a good feet loaf picture.
Mrs. Big Jim and I went out to the Night and Day Diner for dinner, and when we left there, we went grocery shopping, and I drove past the carcass of what Haas's used to be.
Rip.
And I was just like, this would have been a great day to go to Haas's for dinner.
I really screwed up here. I'm sorry.
Because I'm like, it's cold out. I wanted some soup. I got soup, and it would have been really good. It just would have hit. Like every so often, I'm like, man, I could go for that soup and salad. And yet, oh my god,
there it is.
It's
a
so
good feet loaf there.
That is so fucking gross.
That's rough. That is not good looking.
What is that in? Like what?
That's a tomato with cheese in it.
I think it's just ketchup, isn't it?
That's ketchup.
Right. I mean, so what's like the leg bone in that? Is that cheese?
I would believe that as like a cylinder that you can just form it around that you would take out.
Oh,
or an onion slice. Is it onion? It has not onion, I don't think.
Oh, it was.
Put a whole ass onion in there? No, thank you.
No, thank you. I enjoy a good meatloaf. I'm not gonna lie. Some potatoes, some cut up carrots.
Like, it's been a while since I had meatloaf.
I've always been a tomato meatloaf guy, like with the tomato sauce, not gravy.
Now,
tomato sauce and gravy are the same thing.
Oh, my bad, Russ.
Ryan, that banging you here at your door is Russ coming to collect.
He is. He ain't up here that quick.
Capicola.
Now, did your when your folks would make meatloaf when you were growing up, did they put like carrots, onions, potatoes in the pan around the meatloaf?
Yeah, all with it. Yeah, baked all together.
Yep.
Darn right.
So when you said meatloaf smash burger, what I heard was make a meatloaf and then make small hamburger like balls out of an already cooked meatloaf and then smash that into a burger. That sounds great to me.
I mean, it was tasty for what Haas's. I could taste it, which is an improvement over most Haas's food. But then, like near the end of our stay, there was some banquet, and like they were panicking because the side banquet room was like packed with people, and then they started piling out because they didn't have enough table space in the banquet room, and they're like moving tables frantically, like 3-4 long, and people are starting to sit. And I'm like, Mark, I have never seen this many people. I'm not an anxious person. I started feeling my palms get sweaty. Like there's no way the plumbing can handle this many people in a Haas's at one time.
That was the concern for you.
I mean, the audacity of Haas's to have a banquet room anyway. It's just
so the great thing about the Haas's up in Anvil, they have 2 banquet rooms on the side.
That's Anvil.
So
okay,
1
now
and
it
2.
makes sense.
And they're both named something different, but it's all just one giant room without a divider. So there's no need to put a different name on top of each door to make you look like you're bigger than you are.
So it's one like this, the steak banquet room and the seafood banquet room.
It should have been. Here's the deal. Growing up here, honest to God, here's what it was. It was always a real simple meal. I got the ham steak with French fries. It was a good char on the ham steak. Always loved it. They served it on like the hospital tray with the metal insert. They don't even do that anymore. It's just on a fucking plate. And then the salad bar was the sweet and tangy dressing that they don't make anymore. So there's really no reason for me to ever want to go back to Haas's, but the bit of nostalgia that I get going in there is enough for a trip, and the consequential diarrhea about 15 minutes later.
Well, they have the dessert bar too, as Devin said.
Which is trash. You can only get vanilla ice cream anymore. They took the chocolate out. It was too much money to have chocolate and vanilla.
I mean, I like putting the chocolate chippies and the peanuts and stuff in the vanilla ice cream, but you can literally get that just about anywhere. And
Any
then
froyo has that ever, right?
And then the only other good dessert were the packaged and purchased cups of Hershey's ice cream or sherbet.
Yep, can't get that anymore.
I figured that's probably gone. But everything else there, it was just garbage desserts.
It was the cheapest desserts that they could find. They had a pumpkin pie that just tasted like crust and like a brown mush, which was cool. So no pumpkin flavor at all with that. I got a few pieces of cantaloupe that just tasted like the generic fruit salad juice. Nice. So that was nice. And then I had some vanilla pudding, which just tasted like pudding.
Just flavorless pudding?
Just flavorless pudding.
Oh, that made me shudder.
Dude, that literally, we looked at, Tim, can you bring that feet loaf picture back up to cleanse our palate?
I lost it. It's actually dead.
God. Like,
just pudding. Not just God. Jay, not just pudding.
Just
pudding.
Ooh.
You mean pudding? No.
That gave me goosebumps, not in a good way.
How do you not have a vanilla? I'm a vanilla. It's not even a hard flavor to find. Just a couple drops.
Devin likes the Jell-O.
Jeff, yeah, he would like the Jell-O. Anything get gum, fucking weirdo. Devin, there's no way that Jell-O's flavored either. I'm sure that just tastes like gelatin.
Devin, throw your favorite Jell-O flavor in the comments there.
Are you guys Jell-O guys?
Devin,
I don't mind Jell-O.
I don't dislike it.
Devin's an orange man. It has to be an orange guy. I'd be shocked if it's not orange.
I was thinking Devin's a lime Jell-O guy.
Yeah, I was thinking a lime.
I'm a pudding guy.
I mean, I like
absolutely pudding.
That's all. Jell-O pudding. That's it.
Pudding over.
That. Yep.
I will be damned.
There it is.
I called that one.
Jell-O is disgusting.
I don't dislike Jell-O. I like the Jell-O cubes.
I mean, Mike, if you want to give us Big Mac, if you want to give us your favorite Jell-O, feel free. Anybody, you can.
Yeah.
Let us know. Right. It's not like there was a ton of wrestling that happened these past few days that we could be talking about.
Nothing to talk about this week.
Not a big wrestling week at all, actually.
Christ, I'm gonna scream.
All right, let's get to the podcast. Tim's getting upset. We don't want him. We don't
I'm not
want to see.
upset. I'm just
You're
we have
upset.
a
Tim's
whole
upset.
Tuesday show to do this bullshit.
All right, we'll go back.
Well, that's true. We should talk about this on Tuesday because we got nothing planned for that show. All right, let's go to the news. WWE, in partnership with the General Entertainment Authority, announced this week that the 39th annual Royal Rumble will be held January 2026 in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. This landmark event marks the first time the Royal Rumble will be hosted outside of North America. Said, quote, WWE is a global enterprise and it only made sense to expand our relationship with the kingdom by bringing one of our biggest annual events to Riyadh in January 2026, said WWE President Nick Khan. The announcement of Royal Rumble being held in Riyadh in 2026 marks a continued expansion of the successful partnership between WWE and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, which has already seen record-breaking events, including Crown Jewel, Elimination Chamber, King and Queen of the Ring, Night of Champions, SmackDown, and Monday Night Raw. Thoughts about the Riyadh Royal Rumble?
It was bound to happen. Only a matter of time. Not going to turn down that money that they paid for it to be there, I'm sure.
I hate that it's one of the big four that I like a lot. Put SummerSlam there. That's fine. I can get over it.
No. That's the worst idea.
Dude, why? Because it'll be 170 degrees?
No,
put
that's
Survivor
winter.
Series out there. That's fine.
Oh,
I
that
don't
is
give a
winter.
shit.
It's winter there.
That's right.
So you're going to do
fine.
SummerSlam in winter.
Yeah.
Sure.
Winter
Yeah.
Slam.
The women have to
No.
wear long sleeves no matter the temperature.
Stop.
Fucking do it.
Hard stop. So what I dislike the most about this isn't the fact that Saudi Arabia is getting the Royal Rumble. What I dislike is the discourse I've seen around it saying, oh, WWE just bending over backwards for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Vince McMahon would have never let this happen.
I'm sorry, what?
We've had the part, or we like I fucking work there. The WWE has had this partnership with Saudi Arabia for how long now? 5 years,
It's been a bit, yeah.
right?
I think it's been even longer.
Yeah, I think Blood Money was 5 years ago.
I think it was before the pandemic.
Well, 2019 would be before the pandemic.
Wow.
WWE Saudi
Greatest
Arabia.
Royal Rumble was April of 2018.
Okay.
Holy
So
shit.
2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So plus 5 years, making my point even better.
We're coming up on
Here's the
7.
thing. The WWE would not give a Big Four pay-per-view up unless Saudi Arabia outright demanded it. And here's how I know this. We gave them their own Royal Rumble. We brought back the King of the Ring. We brought back the Night of Champions. We created not one, not two, but 3 different pay-per-views in Superstar, Spectacle, Crown Jewel, and what was the name of the third pay-per-view that we've given them that wasn't those 3? But either way, so we have given them, we have trotted out multiple
Elimination Chamber.
We have got Elimination Chamber as well, but I thought there was another pay-per-view that was given to them.
So it's been Greatest Royal Rumble, Crown Jewel, Super Showdown, Elimination
Super Showdown.
Chamber, Night of Champions, King and Queen of the Ring.
Okay. So instead of Superstar Spectacle, Super Showdown.
Yeah.
So we've created all of these other never existed before pay-per-views with the exception of Elimination Chamber, telling them that these events are the best and the biggest events possible. And then they caught on, they got the WWE network, and they started watching. And they're like, damn, WrestleMania looks dope as shit. The Royal Rumble's super fun. We want one of those. And they're like, damn, how are we going to get out of this? And they couldn't give him Survivor Series because the logistics of doing war games over there.
Wow.
Like
the term war games over there.
Not even talking the term, like having to ship the cage and an extra ring to Saudi Arabia. Now, granted, they're probably going to pay for it. Doesn't matter.
Using like the name Survivor Series in a country that kills journalists seems kind of an odd choice. They killed
a journalist.
Well,
I think Tim's absolutely right. Like the King at one time was like, "What do you mean our Royal Rumble wasn't the greatest?" Because they got the Netflix and they signed in one time and they were like, "Fuck, hold on."
Just as much as they come a long way, right? We had an elimination chamber, right? But just as much as they've come a long way with women and how they've been portrayed in Saudi Arabia, they've also come a long way because if you remember the first event, they wanted Yokozuna.
Yeah.
They didn't have the biggest grasp on WWE programming. Now, they love Rhea Ripley. They love Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan is like Saudi Arabia's champion of champions. If you listen to Raw commentary, Liv Morgan was top of the heap for both of the Saudi shows last year. Because she won the title off of Rhea there, and she won the what is the name of that stupid Crown Jewel champion? She's the Crown Jewel champion. Dusty Rhodes ass sounding shit. Look,
you're absolutely right though. They've come a long way as a country themselves. I mean, they probably only wanted Yokozuna because their government only allowed them to watch Saturday Morning Mania. Like that's the only wrestling that they were getting. Like Todd Grisham, they're like, "Where's Todd?" Well,
yeah,
Todd is not. I mean, that's all they were getting. So, like, the country itself has grown a ton. Still plenty of room to go, but I think you have to really credit the WWE for going in there and kind of forcing some change that otherwise might not have been forced.
Right.
Or at least being like the catalyst, right? Like, because at any point, like the Saudi Arabia Entertainment Board, not giving credit to the government, but I think the Entertainment Board is a government entity for Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Like credit to them to be like, hey, if we're gonna get WWE, we need to give them the full package, or we want everything that comes with it.
Now, the first show didn't have a women's match, right? The first show had no women.
No women.
They had Renee was on commentary, and I believe Lana walked Rusev out from the curtain
onto the stage.
The stage. Okay. But the first match wasn't until the second Saudi show with let's see Natty, your trivia.
Right? It was Natty.
Natty and who?
Eva Marie.
No. Big fan of the show.
Chelsea Green?
No. Not literal fan of the show. We've talked about her quite a bunch. You know, she may have lived in the city for a while, but she's very country now.
Yeah, Lacey
Evans. Yeah, so it's like that was the first match in women's match in Saudi Arabia. Natty Neidhart and Lacey Evans.
That first event was a 10-match card.
That was where we got the debut of Mansoor because they were trying to find Saudi. They hired 3 or 4 people, and the only person that stuck was Mansoor.
Yeah,
and he's still wrestling, and everybody else petered out. Like
he's over there in the AEW, right?
Yeah, like Mansoor is killing it. Part of MXM collection. Him and Mason Madden, the former, what's his name in Retribution? Mace? Yeah,
Mace.
that makes sense.
Yeah, Mace.
Mace, yes.
It wasn't even the second show that they did the first women's match. I think it might have been the third.
Really?
Yeah. Let's see here.
Could you imagine those conversations around a board table? They're like, what if they execute the women? And they're like, that's fine. Send Natty.
Oh,
Who can she wrestle? Oh, what about that other one? Well,
it was the fourth Saudi show.
Really?
wow.
Yeah, Crown Jewel 2019. Natty defeated Lacey Evans in 7 minutes 20 seconds.
They gave him 7 minutes. That's more than they give him in the States.
It's true. Oh God, that's the one that had Brock Lesnar defeating Cain Velasquez in 2 minutes and 10 seconds by submission.
Heck yeah.
Wow,
Cain
how
Velasquez
about
blows
Cain
his
Velasquez?
knee out.
What a show. So that one was
Was that also DX versus the Brothers of Destruction?
no. So that one was Brock versus Cain Velasquez opened the show. The OC eliminated the Viking Raiders in a tag team turmoil match for the WWE Tag Team World Cup, and we never heard of that ever again.
Okay, we gave them that. We gave them the Best in the World tournament,
Sure did.
where the Shane McMahon thing.
Sure did.
The best.
Mansoor defeated Cesaro in 12:45. Tyson
Yep.
Fury defeated Braun Strowman by count out in 8:05. AJ Styles defeated Humberto Carrillo in 12:35
What a wild match.
for the U.S. title. Natty Lacey Evans. Then it was Team Hogan, which was Roman Reigns, Rusev, Ricochet, Shorty G, and Mustafa Ali.
Shane McMahon.
Defeated Team Flair, Randy Orton, Baron Corbin, Bobby Lashley, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Drew McIntyre. And then that was
Sounds like an awful fever dream.
And that was the Fiend defeated Seth Rollins by pinfall in a false count anywhere.
That was on October 31st.
Yeah. Holy cow.
I remember the date because the Fiend won the title on Halloween.
On Halloween.
Yeah. That makes sense. But holy cow,
Holy cats. Somebody has to do it.
What a look back in time that was. But yeah, I mean, I kind of had the same thought Matt did. It was only a matter of time before a show, one of the big four shows, ended up in Saudi. It'll be weird having a Royal Rumble watch along at noon, but
it's gonna be great.
Just get it done, get it over with. I imagine
it's gonna be great.
Do you think they'll do
that, I guess?
Because I know sometimes they've done like the Saudi show in the early afternoon and then have done an NXT show at night. Do you think they'll do that next January when they do this?
Maybe. It's tough though because NXT's January show is usually New Year's Evil, and that's the
true.
beginning of the year.
Well, yeah, and they usually do Vengeance in February, so yeah, they probably will.
Vengeance Day, yeah, for around Valentine's Day.
Yeah, so this will just be the WWE show in January. But yeah, it is what it is.
Which means you're probably gonna get the SmackDown before and the Raw after.
Yeah, that's what they did this
Also-
past year. Yeah.
Also from Saudi.
And as a reminder to everyone who is a subscriber to Netflix, they
What
don't
was that
believe
old timey voice.
it was Peter Griffin style for everybody here who don't know how to do nothing. So WWE starting now, there is no preempting of Raw. So if they air Raw in Saudi Arabia next year, that is a 1 p.m. Monday night
Monday afternoon.
or Monday afternoon while you're at work episode of Monday Night Raw. It's not at 8 p.m.
Yeah, I
And
mean
SmackDown
you'll
would
be
be
able,
the same if you have a VPN.
yeah, you'll be able to watch it on demand. Did the stuff go on demand right away? I didn't even check because I did
Yes,
watch
when
the
it's done, when it's off, it's on, or when it just rolls
There
right
you go.
in.
You'll be able to tune in when you get done with work or while you're live at work. Doesn't matter. Cool. Yeah. Any other thoughts about the Riyadh Rumble?
It's not ideal, but it's what we're gonna get. It's better than the Raw. It's better than WrestleMania, and it's better than SummerSlam.
Do you think this opens the door for WrestleMania, or this is the big four that they're gonna get?
Everything opens the door for WrestleMania, man. The rules have changed.
That's a good point. Good
I
point.
think this is the biggest one Saudi will get, but I think it opens the door for more international big shows.
London has been begging for a WrestleMania forever.
I think it's a matter of when, not if, with the London Mania, especially as we start going through not only like we've done international premium live events for a while now, where now that you're going into this global live all at one time Monday Night Raw, just the idea of, time isn't just East Coast based anymore is just going to become a more normal thing with WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm here for it though. Push the envelope, make money.
Yeah, absolutely. But speaking of making money and speaking of Netflix and live at all times, we did have the first Raw on Netflix this past Monday. Guys, what did you guys think of the debut episode? I thought it was the perfect venue for it. I thought that venue was full of shit.
Venue was good. Yeah.
That was this Monday?
That was.
You didn't watch? Really?
It's 2 hours. I totally.
It's 3.
It was 3.5.
It wasn't 3.5, was it?
It was 3.
No, it went off right at 11.
Did it? Okay.
Well, then there was the post show on YouTube.
Didn't watch that. Fuck that.
I watched half of it.
I watched a little bit of it, and then I was like, "Nope, I'm done."
Nah, after the 3 hours, I'm good. I don't need to see him talk about that. Although if Hogan had come out again and been booed, that would have been fine.
That would have been awesome.
Oh my god, that was the greatest. Thank you, LA audience, for your hard work this week.
That's no surprise.
All those woke libs in LA really tore down Terry.
No, I don't know. I don't know if it's. Go ahead.
I don't think it's political with Hulk.
No, it wasn't.
I don't think it is either. I think he's just an asshole when people don't like him.
Triple H got cheered, and he was getting plastered in Mar-a-Lago the week before.
Not so much political in that sense, but the reasons behind the hatred would probably slant politically because of the things he said and the derogatory slurs he's thrown out.
I mean, he's a well-known racist.
I mean, here's the thing. I think his political leanings are the cherry on the top of a "you're a piece of shit" Sunday. Like, because here's the thing. Like, I understand. Like,
do they still serve those at Friendlies?
If you can find a Friendlies. But because I mean, again, Mark from Texas had Trump on his podcast during the run up to it. Yeah, Triple H was partying at
Came out to also known bad guy Kid Rock
this
Monday, and people were totally fine.
That appearance, like, why in that moment did he come out?
I think it's just to give Rhea Ripley a little extra,
struggling Raw superstar Rhea Ripley needed the rub.
But it's not like they haven't.
I'm not saying a knock against you, Jim, because what you're saying's right. It just didn't have to happen.
It didn't have to, but I think it was just part of the.
Maybe Taker needed the rub from Rhea.
Probably. I mean, we could. Never mind.
I thought Rhea was going to get on the back of his motorcycle when they were going to ride out. Is what I thought was going to happen.
I thought so too. Also, was he doing? Was that a trike?
No.
Okay, I thought it looked a little wide on the back, and I was like,
he had the saddlebags.
Okay, well, at his age, that just comes with the territory.
Yeah.
Colostomy
How is he gonna carry his lifetime supply of Blue Chew around?
Just opens it, a bunch of blue pills falls out.
Michelle, resurrection, yeah,
moon power.
That's right.
That's awesome.
I think the purpose, but with him showing up, with The Rock showing up, with Terry getting booed the fuck out of the building, is like I think the idea that they were presenting is that you got to tune in. You don't know who's going to show up. You don't know what's going to happen every week. Now, granted, I don't think we're going to get legend appearances this upcoming Monday, but I think that's the presentation they were trying to give off on the opening night.
Maybe more Raw superstars could sit in the crowd and we can film them like they're special guests to the Raw show.
I just love that
that's
Cody,
the one thing I hated.
I just love that Cody was in the front row during the Rock segment, and then in the very next segment, he does a fucking run-in spot where he came from the back. It's like, why didn't you just keep? He was right there.
Have him hop the
keep him
fence.
there.
Well, he had to go to the back and he had to drink tequila with The Rock.
Right. I was like,
and then he had to. He's like, "Oh, I'm loaded now. I got to fight somebody.
Now I got to get back out there."
It's so indie wrestling of him too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just ignore the fact that The Rock on camera had numerous drinks and then got in his truck and drove away from the venue.
Yeah, it's
just saying.
Well, I mean, I'm sure he was under the legal limit, right? Like
4 shots in 5 minutes?
Shh, math. Don't do math, Tim. Don't. Math.
I mean, I'm sure his body processes things.
He was doing water shots, I think.
Take a solid 30 minutes for that to catch up to him.
Yeah.
Probably.
True.
As long as he gets where he's going in 25, he'll be fine.
Yeah, just breeze right to the hotel. I'll even think about it.
Now, are you hopping in a car with Travis Scott?
No.
Yeah, because he's probably got a driver.
Well, that's true.
Fair,
Right,
that's
like
a fair
why is
point.
The Rock driving himself, by the way? That's another question.
I mean,
nobody's tall enough to get into that truck.
That's true.
I feel like for someone like The Rock, if they show him going backstage and he like gets in the back seat of the car, that's probably not what he wants.
Climbs into his Uber.
Yeah.
The final boss.
He tries to like stuff himself in the they didn't send the Uber XL. He's like,
it's just a Corolla.
He's in a Hyundai Elantra.
Ava, his daughter's picking him up in her rental from the.
He's sitting there. He's like, his head's cocked to the side, like, drive, you idiot.
It has an engine
I'm
click.
the
You're like,
final
oh, no.
So I did hear something interesting, and again, it's the one pearl of wisdom from the place that, it's kind of like what we said before. When the worst people are giving the best idea, what are you thinking about? I was listening to Busted Open.
Oh boy!
And Big Jim, your best friend Dave LaGreca, made an excellent point.
He often does.
He kind of does. Dave LaGreca went on record as saying that this Monday's Netflix is the single biggest event that WWE has ever done, including every WrestleMania.
Okay, that's ridiculous.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's hear the defense. Let's hear the defense.
This Raw had the possibility of being seen simultaneously across 80% of the globe at the same time.
Don't all the events that are on, like all of the pay-per-views that were on the network / Peacock, aren't they around the world at the same time?
Peacock, well, so WWE was split into multiple different places, plus you had pay-per-view at the time. Netflix being so accessible across the globe.
So it was the first time it was in one place.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Because I was like,
the number of active subscribers to Netflix.
Okay. All right. I get it.
Like the possibilities.
More people are subscribed to Netflix than they were to the network / Peacock / pay-per-view. Got it.
Correct.
That makes sense.
And so, into that, I give it a point. And then if you go another step further, what was the main event of this Raw?
Punk versus Rollins.
And what did CM Punk notoriously, what was one of his big hang-ups during his first run with WrestleMania? And if this is bigger than every WrestleMania, this also is a giant moment for CM Punk.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, okay. when presented that way, I understand the point they're trying to make. I don't know that I agree that it's bigger than a WrestleMania, but I at least understand.
There was no fluff on the show.
No
fluff. It had 4 matches in 3 hours. The fuck did I watch?
I thought you didn't watch.
Did you watch?
Of course I watched.
He was commenting
It was
through on the
that
group chat.
big. It was that big of a night that it brought Ryan back to professional wrestling. Dave LaGreca's right. I get what he's saying. Like, the availability of that worldwide is a big deal. But, like, Big Macs are available worldwide through McDonald's. It doesn't mean it's great. Just because it's offered worldwide doesn't mean that there was nearly that many people tuning in to watch it. That would make that more important than WrestleMania 1, WrestleMania 3. That's crazy. I get what he's saying. It's there. Watch us.
So
that's like saying that Mike Tyson solely saved boxing because it was available on Netflix to watch.
Holy
or
shit!
Jake Paul. Give it Jake Paul.
I totally thought that Raw was more than 4 matches this week. Holy shit!
No,
it was 4 matches.
Fun matches. Don't get me wrong. We saw a title change.
Long.
We saw a really solid match between Seth Rollins and CM Punk. And I'm sure the other 2 were great, but I don't remember.
The Bloodline match was
that's exactly what we assumed it would have been.
And
right?
it was Jey Uso or
Jay and
the battle of Matt's heart. Jey Uso and Drew McIntyre.
Who won that match?
Drew. Jay.
Yes, Jay was beaten. Jay was dead.
Biggest event ever. He's right.
Jay was dead. Drew missed.
Not the best event ever.
Schoolboy
throwed him over 1, 2, 3. Did you see Michael Cole's watch? He was yeeting so hard on the table. Michael Cole's his smartphone. He's like, "Hey, we saw you took a big tumble. Are you okay?" or something like that.
Oh man.
Forbes reported that Raw was the #1 stream show on Netflix in the US. It needed to dethrone the season 2 of Squid Game to do that. So I mean, a lot of people were watching. I don't know if I'm ready to buy in on bigger than WrestleMania, but call me a Dave LaGreca contrarian all you want.
I think if you look at it from the sense of history for WWE, and maybe not like the reach or whatever.
Yeah,
I think this is rather significant. I mean, they've pulled themselves out of television into streaming.
No one's saying it's not that it's not significant, but to say that it says most significant or more significant than the creation of WrestleMania, to me, is outlandish.
Yeah, it was definitely a big step with the WWE, to move out of the standard TV platform. I thought it was a really, really strong Raw from start to finish. I thought that they executed the show for a big event feel. I thought they executed it really well.
I mean, we're talking about the distribution of Raw versus something, again, like a WrestleMania. I'm going to keep going to that. What happens in 5 years when Fox or NBC throws an exorbitant amount of money and they're off Netflix and they're back to fucking TV? What then? You're going to be like, well, that Netflix was definitely the fucking pinnacle of the WWE. It's never going to get more important than that. It's just the distribution of. I get what it's important. It really is.
Yeah.
To me, there's no way that that's the most important thing. And I like Diggler. I can't even say his fucking name. I like Dave LaGreca. I think he's right a lot.
Digger Recca.
Dirk Diggler.
Dirk Diggler. This one I think he's slightly wrong on.
Maybe. Yeah.
It's a captor of the moment. It's definitely something like.
I watched wrestling. Yeah, it's a big fucking moment.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. I had a great time watching wrestling.
It was the first time that I was really like locked in, actively watching, tweeting, blue skying. Is that what it's called? Blue skying? I don't know.
Blue jobbing.
Blue jobbing. It was the first time I was.
They actually call it skeeting on Blue Sky.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I was tweeting and skeeting.
Is it
all
really?
night.
Yeah.
No.
Jim was skeeting from the windows to the walls.
Oh, yeah.
Sweat was dropping.
My wife was sitting right next to me while I was skeeting too.
Yeah. Holy shit.
No shit.
From knowyourmeme.com.
There it is.
Skeet is a slang term comprised of a portmanteau of sky and tweet.
I think they probably should have went to Urban Dictionary before they.
Nah,
I
man, I like it.
I think that's why they did it. That way.
Yeah, like it's
because also, if a regular post on Blue Sky is a skeet, then a repost would be a reskeet.
I think so.
And that's awesome.
I mean, it's one thing to skeet yourself. It's another thing to skeet your friends. Like that's just doing a kind thing.
Skeet your brothers.
Yeah.
The skeet that keeps on skeeting.
It's just a friendly thing to do, to look out for each other.
It's like
and
skeet.
Now, what would you do if you were re-skeeting?
That I don't know. I haven't thought that one up yet. So this is yeet. This would be skeet. I don't know what to do with a re-skeet. Come from the sides. I don't know. You get your buddies involved.
You all hold hands and do it.
Well, you skeet one hand at a time. You just
skeet across America.
Yeah.
Just
it's like you're just turning on a bicycle or something.
Yeah, something.
Lefts and rights. Yeah,
something like that. Sure, it's all of that makes sense, but yeah, it was a fun show. Don't think it's gonna quite have that big of a show vibe this upcoming Monday, but we'll
not with that attitude, Jim.
Chad Gable versus the best luchador that Adam Pearce can find.
Yeah, crazy.
Wonder who that.
Adam Pearce needs to learn to talk into a microphone too if he's going to be the Raw.
I think
GM.
that was just the volume of everything because the interviewer sounded like she was in a hole too.
Okay.
So who do you think's going to win, Chad Gable or Rey Mysterio Jr.?
Good.
I think Sammy Five Sides is going to get him.
Yep.
And then we have you
call him Danny Five Sides?
Sammy.
Sammy.
Sammy. Oh.
And then we have the Women's Intercontinental Tournament final, I believe.
Lyra Valkyria versus Dakota Kai.
Yeah. That's on Monday. I don't know what else.
And Seth Green and Macaulay Culkin are going to fist fight.
Coley McCulkin, pop of the night.
Dude, that was great. All right. Anything else in regards to Monday Night Raw?
Hogan, your beer sucks. I haven't tried it, but
I'm sure it's
who was the biggest loser coming from Monday? Was it Hulk Hogan or the dude standing next to Topeka?
Wolf Rydell.
Eric Matthews.
Dude, don't do Eric Matthews like that.
He didn't get any love from the.
He got no love.
Nobody knows.
That's a hard spot to be built in, though. Like
the number of people that know Eric Matt. Like if they'd have put his real name on the screen, they'd be like, "Who the fuck is that?"
Yeah.
What is his real name? I don't even know.
Eric Matthews. I don't.
Yeah, if he's not doing the Feeney call, like nobody.
Yeah,
really...
if he had held up the little Feeney doll, then they probably would have.
Right, that would be
like,
different.
Like, oh, I know that guy.
Girl Meets World is off the air. Take the Feeney call back from the girls you gave it to.
Yeah, they don't need it.
And just start Feeneying again.
Sabrina Carpenter's doing just fine by herself.
She was also the voice of Ron Stoppable from Kim Possible, so show him some respect.
That is
I didn't
true.
know that. I didn't know that.
Cool.
He's also done some work in one of the animated Batman.
I think so.
Batman shows. He's done a lot of voiceover work.
So I never watched Girl Meets World. So it's like I obviously know who Topanga is, and then Eric was there, and I was like, "Dude, that's definitely right. Like, why aren't they? That is him, right?" And then I was like, "Oh, maybe it just wasn't."
No, it was him.
But it was him. Okay. And then when they didn't announce it, I was like, "Oh, maybe it just wasn't him." And I can't believe that the guy looked so much like him. And Topanga was right.
They could have even said the hosts of Pod Meets World.
Yep,
we could have.
That's an easy.
I'd have gotten that. Sure. It was like, here's the chick y'all jerked off as a teenager.
You're saying jerked as in the past tense.
Oh, that's fair.
And there's some guy skeeting himself. All right.
There were multiple generations of like childhood crushes on there because Vanessa Hudgens was there too, right?
Sure.
Yes, and Nikki Bella was there.
And Nikki Bella, yeah.
Well, the better Bella.
The first two, at least.
Yeah. Dude, Bill Simmons, man, that guy is a pro.
Laser focused.
He knew he was going to get caught in 4K, and
he knew what he was doing.
And he locked in on that ring. He was a smart man. All right, let's we will circle back. We'll close out with our wrestlers of the week. But Tim, I'll leave it up to you. This is your question. Do we want to hit the question of the week now? Or do we want to carry that over to next week?
Let's do it
we
now.
We can carry it.
All right, yeah, because I want to give it time for discussion.
Ryan wants right now.
We can carry it.
I would say carry it. It's
My answer will be just as short this week as it would be next week.
Because it's never.
Skeet!
We'll carry that over next week. We'll carry over another topic I had. We pretty much already have our show mostly built for next week. I love it.
But this is Mark's show next week.
Oh shit! Yeah, well we can do that.
We can save 2 minutes to trash Bowser and Sean on
That's fair. That's fair.
But we're bringing something back this week.
Since John Moxley, Cesaro, way before Gargano, there was Savage and Roddy, and Saturdays on NBC. These five guys on Facebook are gonna take a hard look. Come Thursday brings to you the wrestler on the week.
Welcome back, wrestler.
Oh God, I missed hearing that.
Welcome back, and I didn't forget to take it off a repeater, so we didn't have the double up. But we're doing a little bit differently this year. Tim, you want to give the Iggy on how we're doing this? Explain to the world.
I thought you'd never ask. So, Wrestler of the Year is back. I'll admit, I bungled the shit out of the 2024-2025 campaign. Lost steam as a facilitator, but we're back and we have streamlined this sucker down to a pinpoint. Each of us, the five of us, including intern Mark, for whatever reason, the only person who watches less wrestling than Ryan, we all will bring one person who had the best week ever to the table. Each vote gets 1 point. That carries over to the year's totals. And don't forget, the People's Champ is also back for Pro Wrestling Scorecards. If you are the winner of the week and you have that opportunity, you get to pick your best week ever nominee for point totals. And there's no skewing. Our votes count as a point. Your vote count as a point, and it goes from there. 52 weeks in the year, starting this week. Now, it's unfortunate because our week goes from Thursday to Wednesday, so that on Thursday we would have the full week of stuff to cover, but we're actually in the midst of AEW Dynamite right now, so it's an incomplete list, but I do feel between all of the wrestling we've had this week, there's plenty of information to pull from to make educated choices on your wrestler of the week.
Yeah, and I don't know what's going on Dynamite. I guess if you wanted to hold out your pick for whatever's main eventing, you could do that. Charlie, very confused in the comments. He said, moved days, 17 degrees outside, no trivia. Where's Mark?
There is trivia.
Mark's at trivia, so you can blame him.
Currently losing in trivia.
Yeah, it's a real shame. You can blame him for not getting an invite there. It is too cold outside, and this should be the last Wednesday show. Should be of the year. So We'll be back to Thursday next week. Don't panic.
Preempted by the dog show.
That's right. Who wants to lead off?
I'll give Mark's response.
There you go.
Mark has given his pick for wrestler of the week, and his is our new WWE World Women's Champion, Rhea Ripley. Finally overcoming the odds against Liv Morgan and the Judgment Day on the single most important event in WWE history, Monday Night Raw from the Intuit Dome in Los Angeles, California.
It is the most important.
Until next week.
Until the next one. It's always the biggest gate until the next one. Anybody want to go next?
Boy, there is a ton of professional wrestling to choose from between Raw and, well, SmackDown to a much lesser degree, NXT, which had a banger of a show and pulled some terrific ratings yesterday as well. To Wrestle Kingdom 19, there's just a ton to pick from. I'm going to go with the new NXT Women's Champion, Julia. Had the best week ever, or whatever the fuck we're calling this.
The wrestler.
I mean, it's kind of.
It's wrestler of the week, but
it's kind of best week ever-ish. Cool. Anybody want to go next?
We'll keep the love for the ladies going. I will give my nod to Mercedes Moné for her win. Now she has, 3 belts across 3 companies? 4 belts across 3 companies? Whatever it is. Good week.
A lot of belts.
Many belts.
All the belts.
Many belt.
Many a belt is held by Mercedes Moné.
Tim, you want to go? You want me to go? You want to?
It doesn't matter to me. I can go.
I go ahead.
Mine goes to the person who had not just the match of the week, but the top 2 matches of the week. And that is your current reigning AEW International and New Japan Never Openweight champion, Konosuke Takeshita. Had himself a field day in Japan this week.
All right, very good. I, like Ryan, I will take a visit to NXT New Year's Evil, and I will take your new NXT champion, Obafemi, with the best week ever wrestling of the week. Day.
I just got to update. Mark changed his to Hulk Hogan.
He said he felt bad for him.
Well, I mean, I guess technically it was brought up, could the fans be the wrestler of the week? And since Hulk Hogan did tell them all before getting viciously booed that they were his favorite tag team partner.
That's true.
That is true. It happened.
It's true. And they did fucking power bomb the overly tanned, dried out corpse that is Terry Bollea live on TV, but I'll stick with Obafemi.
Dude, Jimmy Hart was trying. He was trying real hard back there. That poor son of a bitch was like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to keep waving this flag like it's my job.
Jimmy Hart was fighting for his life.
You know, they got back into Gorilla, and he's like, no, they weren't booing you. They were saying, "Bruther, baby, bruther."
I love how he ripped his shirt. It just kind of hung around his pants, and he looked like he was just walking around with his trousers half down, walking slowly back through.
Right, and I also just loved the old man fucking shuffle that old bag of bones is fucking doing at this point. Like, you're embarrassing yourself, and you're getting booed out of the building. Like, this, go away, you piece of shit. But yeah, so there we go. That was right. Let's play the song again. Oh.
Way before Gargano, there was Savage and Roddy, and Saturdays on NBC. These 5 guys on Facebook are gonna take a hard look. Recount Thursday brings to you the wrestler on the week.
So bringing that every week. Anything else, boys?
I have a piece of breaking news from AEW.
Oh, more breaking news. thinking. It wants to do it. It wants to break the news. Just break the news.
AEW just recently had a new AEW just held their most recent casino gauntlet match for a chance to face Jon Moxley next week at AEW Maximum Carnage. And the winner of said match is Powerhouse Hobbs. So it looks like Hobbs is getting a push. He's got Jon Moxley next week for the AEW World Championship.
So, and this is an honest question, not an insulting question. Is Maximum Carnage, is that a pay-per-view or is that just an episode of Dynamite?
It's the name of Dynamite.
Okay. I was not sure.
Tim, why do they do that?
I didn't say it. I didn't say it. Oh wait, that was Charlie. Charlie commented. Never mind. All right, we're gonna close it up for the week. Thank everybody for tuning in and playing along again. We will be back to Thursday nights next week, so you can join us back on Thursday nights. But you can get us 3 Count Thursday on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, TikTok, YouTube. Everywhere you can get us. You can get us on podcast feeds. Subscribe to us there. Rate and review where you can. Subscribe to us on YouTube. You can get our merchandise over at tpublic.com. 25% off sale. Go in there with the code that is up on the screen. I think it's New Year's or something like that. But until next Thursday, we hope you have a great week. Catch us on the Tuesday podcast. We'll be back here live next Thursday night. Until then, stay safe, stay smart, and as always, go for the pin.